so now let's talk about the 200 moving averages. All right, so how do we set it up? So type EMA slash SMA, and this will pop up, right? So we have this drop box here. We have only set the EMA 4, which is 200, and SMA 5, which is 200. Okay, we don't like the 15, the 30, the 50, right? Mainly because the moves that you capture from it are just way too lower time frame, right? It's just too low of a time frame. I like to catch, the bigger moves. So I'm sticking with the 200. Okay. So fundamentally, the 200 moving averages, they just tell you one thing, right? The overall trend. Okay. So in Investopedia, obviously, they're going to tell you, okay, if it's above, it's bullish. And if it's below, it's bearish. Yeah, we know that, right? We know that. So how do we use this as a tool for our arsenal, right? So what we'd want to do is to look for the time frames that are lucrative for that specific coin, right? So I'm gonna be saying this throughout the video that you have to find that exact time frame that respects your coin. Okay? So some coins respect the 4 hour more, some coins respect the 2 hour, the 3 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, whatever. It's your job as a trader to adapt and to be able to identify that exact time frame. Okay, let's begin. So as we can see here, this is the 4 hour moving average on Aave. So we see a flip here, right? We're continuing the trend, and we get a flip here. Now we have a breakdown into V shape into a break of structure. Now there is a juicy demand zone over here, right? So demand zone because broke structure, valid break of structure. Remember our criteria: valid break of structure, fair value gap, context is we're bullish now. But me, I like to be cute and try to keep my risk to reward as tight as possible. So this is my entry. But either entry you can use, right? Just depends on your risk appetite. Okay. So I actually, yep, there we go. So this was on the 3 hour where I actually sent this trade in the Discord, for everyone to take with me. It's a signal, and if you were there, you'd actually have a better entry than me because I actually sent this when we were still dumping, right? So let's look at it here. So on the 3 hour, tells you the same story, right? Right at the moving average. So when a demand zone, or a supply zone for that matter, falls right at the moving average, then your trade suddenly becomes exponentially more probabilistic, right? So it's just more likely for you to win. That's all. So if the two confluences align with each other, there's a higher probability of you winning. Okay, that's it. Now, this is what I sent in the 3 hour on the Discord. So if you were there, you'd be able to take this win. Remember, higher high, higher low, assumption, higher high, right? So again, very simple way of trading, very high probability. Now, if you're not in the Discord yet, right? If you're not in the Discord yet, and you want to be able to take part into what I send you guys, I send market outlooks, I send my positions, everything, what I expect price to do. So if you want to be part of the inner circle, right, just click on the link in the description or in the comment section, apply for it, and we'll get back to you, right? And another thing, if you like the way I trade, well, you've gotten this far already. If you like the way I trade, You can also set up for the mentorship. We do one-on-one where I teach you guys, right? Depends on how many weeks you guys want it, but it's gonna be a one-on-one mentorship session. So just sign up in the description or the comment section below, and we'll check the waitlist, right? So that's it. Let's move on. So how I like to use the moving averages is, let's say, the 4-hour. Now, how do we capitalize on this if you missed the initial move? So what you want to do is to go down to the time frame that lets you catch something like this, right? So what we do is we go down time frames. So if it's not the 4-hour, maybe it's a 3-hour. Yes, it is. It is actually the 3-hour. So if you look here, there is a demand zone right here sitting, guess what? Right at the moving averages again. So that's something you can, boom. That's how your entry would look like, right? So let's say, let's just fast forward it a bit. And once you see price exponentially expand away from your moving average, so for this example, it's the 3-hour, then you'll have to find a more suitable time frame that acts as dynamic support, right? So what is that? If it's not the 3-hour, is it the 2-hour? Nope. The 1-hour? Oh, we're getting there. 30 minutes? 30 minutes. Okay. So we have opportunities here, 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 right? We're basically trading within the 30 minutes. Okay, so how do we make use of that? So what you want to do again is we go to our 4-hour, look for demand zones. So I found one right here. So there is a break of structure right here, break of structure. So now we ask ourselves, okay, is this 4-hour demand encompassing a moving average? Yes, it is. Like right there. So this would have been quite a beautiful entry as well, right? Right there. See? So on the 4-hour, it's a valid demand zone, and on the 30-minute, it's sitting right at the moving average. Okay, so looking forward, I see a demand zone here again. I see a demand zone here as well, and I see a demand zone here. Now let's go down to that exact time frame if we can find some confluences. So what we can see here, right? Sitting very near that moving average, right? Very near. So that's also possible. This is also that 4-hour demand that we were talking about. Boom. Absolutely beautiful as well. Almost tapping it, right? Here, this is a 4-hour demand. Again, tapping it. So that's how to use it, right? That's how to use the moving averages with, your demand zones. So the highest probability trades will be if you use it in conjunction with the demand zones. Okay. So if you're too fixated on the 4-hour, and right, you probably would have missed this, right? Oh, I'm just gonna wait for it to go back to my moving average. Oh, don't worry about it. I'll just wait. And you miss this whole move when you can easily just go down time frames and use it in conjunction. So now your 4-hour demand, suddenly those longs look very attractive because they're still following that dynamic support moving average, right? So something to keep in mind. Now, once we lose that exact moving average that helped us get all those gains, maybe it's time to get out of the market. So we're now using it as resistance, and we've sold off ever since. Okay, let's move on. Fartcoin. So over here, we flip, right? We flip the moving average here. So now we're very bullish. So if we use the demand zone, pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so we get another break of structure. Beautiful. And if you can see here closely, what is this? This 4-hour demand zone sits right at, guess what? Right at the moving average. Now, what if I told you I sent it ahead of time? May, what is this? May 9 or 8, I think. I gave this as a signal for the Discord, my Discord channel followers, and instant 8.42 RR trade, right? Very simple. Again, confluence. When used together, it's very powerful. Very powerful. Okay? So, again, if you haven't signed up for the Discord, check it out in the description below. And if you like how I think, if you like how I do things, right, and you want to learn exactly how I do it, well, very simple. Just sign up on the description below, and we'll have a look. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. So let's remove that first. Let's get down to the analysis. Okay, so SPX, okay, we got a flip here, and we're breaking structure. Over here, the most ideal, long would be in this 4-hour demand zone. However, we just don't get it. So next stop, we have this break of structure followed by this demand zone. So this looks like an entry to me already. Okay, so maybe I'll ask myself, where could, what time frame can the moving average be in my favor? Let's see. 4-hour, nope. 3-hour, nope. 2, not really, probably just now. 1 hour, boom, there we go. That's exactly. So, touch, touch, touch. Next, we get that tap exactly right at the tick. So that tells me, this alone tells me, okay, so XPX wants to follow the 1 hour demand, 1 hour moving average. So let's use it. Now, this is the 4-hour demand zone, mind you, and there is a moving average right below. So that's where our stops would be, right? Below the moving average, and it barely touches it, sweeps it a bit, and we get our take profit. See how very, very easy. Now, what is this? It seems like, once again, I have showed this in the Discord before it actually happened, right? How about that? This is the entry, and boom. I shared it here even before the sweep, so you could probably get in at a better entry than me, right? So, very simple way of trading. Very, very simple way. So, let's go down to the last one. Solana. All right. So, oops. So here, let's top-down analysis this for a while. So we're basically chaining demand zones. Perfect. So now that price is in this demand zone, okay, I'd see where I could take some continuations from. So I see a 1 hour demand zone right here that I'd like to bid. Right there. That I'd like to bid. Now, I'll ask myself, the 1 hour isn't acting so much as a dynamic support. So, and the 4 hour is extremely far away. So, what can we do? Let's go down. 45 minutes? Not so. 30 minutes? We're getting there. We're really getting there. 15? Bingo. So, again, this is just me reiterating how every coin is different, right? Every coin is different. Aave, we use the 30-minute. SPX, we use the 1 hour. Fartcoin, we use the 4 hour, right? But the concept remains the same. You find a demand zone that matters. Demand zones always take priority, okay? And the next step is to look for moving averages that match or that does give you confluence, right? So this was a 1 hour demand zone followed by, guess what? Beautiful, beautiful taps from the moving average. So once again, what is this? Once again, I showed this to you guys, right? I showed this to you guys in the Discord as a signal before anything even happened, right? And guess what? We woke up in profits. Take profit. We woke up in take profit already. See? So that's just how to do it, right? Again, wanna join? Head over to the link, right? If you like how I trade, wanna know how to do it? Again, it's all there. It's all in the link. So now what I want you guys to do as your little assignment, right? If you're watching this, well, go to your favorite coins, right? Bitcoin, Sui, BNB, whatever it may be, right? Try to find that exact time frame that uses, the moving average as the dynamic support, right? So that's my advice for you guys, because every coin is different. And I've showed it to you guys pretty perfectly how every coin is biased to a different time frame, right? So I'll see you in the next.